Hey guys, welcome back to LegoLogical. This is my Mandalorian speeder bike gang, and this is not canon. So basically, I was thinking, since the Mandalorian is like a character from a western and he's like got a speeder bike, what if he had his own biker gang? So I decided to make one extra speeder bike to accompany him, and then slowly this became a project that I got sort of sidetracked on, a bit addicted. So I have 6 other custom speeders, modified Mandalorian speeder that he uses on Tatooine, and a Scout Trooper mock on the way over there, all the way over there. That's inspired by a build that I saw on the internet. But without further ado, let me show you each of them up close, starting with the titular character's custom speeder bike. So first, taking a look at the Mandalorian's own speeder bike. This is the one he uses on Tatooine, and I have attached little baby Yoda Grogu on the back there, and I've used almost exclusively parts from the recent Trouble on Tatooine set, which has all the pieces you need, but the speeder is slightly oversized. So I have extended the nose here a bit and captured the shape and made it a bit more minifigure accurate. This one's a really fun one to design. I really love the shape of the speeder bike, and it's really sleek looking. I'm using the old Mandalorian, and nothing really special here. The only thing to note is that this thing is actually quite flimsy, which is why I added the T-bar down there to hold it in place so it doesn't flop lower than it's supposed to be. So it's a really nice kind of classic looking vehicle. So now as it zooms away, we can move on to the first custom speeder bike that I made after thinking of this project. And this one's a bit unique because I never had this windshield piece used in this way before. I wanted to evoke the sort of like a motorcycle, but had this rain shield or windshield cover. I used some of the spark speeder parts on the side fins here, and the vents and the fin. It all looks very fast, and it actually evokes some of the classic Star Wars look with the twin kind of like blasters in front here. On the side here, you got some thrusters indicated by the binocular pieces, and it's got a ski skid at the bottom there, which is actually a reference to The Last Jedi with the ski speeders. Here you can clip on the dude's weapon, which is this sniper blaster, I suppose, this double rifle thing. And I'll show you guys the minifigures individually later. So yeah, pretty cool. It's asymmetrical. And as you can see, as I continue showing you guys my speeder bikes, that most of them are asymmetrical because I find that the Star Wars visual language is in fact very asymmetrical. So this guy has 4 arms, custom figure, and the speeder bike has some sort of a pod racer look, I suppose. And on the back here, you see he's got like 6 engines blasting him in front, and it's pretty cool. It's an open top, and in front he's got the 2 vertical stabilizers. They're able to like flange out a bit, but not really intended for that purpose. And 2 blasters at the bottom, right there. So this one's pretty standard. This one took not a lot of time to make. So let's swap that one out for this next one, which I really love. And this one is a sort of like a neo-future samurai looking dude on this really modernized clean speeder. So he's probably the most wealthy one of the speeder bike gang. And you see he's got like this chrome blaster at the back here. So all of this indicates that it's very much like a high-class citizen. And his bike is evocative of Rey's speeder. So I'm using again that echoing that language that's seen throughout Star Wars, and there's the light on one side and dual blasters on the other. So asymmetrical build yet again, and he's able to hold on. He seats perfectly at the back, 1 large thruster, so that looks really speedy. And let's just get him out of the way. So moving on, here we have a special one. I decided to take the good old pod racer idea and flip it on its head. As we see in season 2 episode 1, Cobb Vanth has used one part of the engine pod of Anakin's pod racer. So if you take away that looks kind of like Cobb Vanth's speeder bike, but then I decided to mirror it. So this would be a pair of drivers. One is the gunner, and nothing really too special here. The techniques used here are quite straightforward, although I did use the tread piece for the engine intake and the gear, which looks really nice in my opinion, the textures. And I used these hazmat suit hoses to look like the fuel intakes down there. So yeah, headlight here, kind of like a motorcycle look. And on this side, no lights, but she's holding a sort of like bowcaster thing. And on the back there, that's a look. So another example of asymmetrical design. Second last, whoops, we have this one. So this one, I wanted to make a speeder bike that looks very much like the prequel designs. We have this sort of like blue accent and the kind of rounded corner Art Deco style front there, which is very prequel-esque. And this is the most straightforward speeder bike out of all of them. Like, you see this and you instantly know it's Star Wars. On the back there, you've got the binocular thrusters again, and his rifle is attached to the side, so it's like a targeting computer. And it looks imbalanced, and it is imbalanced, but that's Star Wars design, you know? Like, all of them look kind of janky and wonky, but it all works. So this one's pretty nice. He's got the long control sticks there. Very, very prequel looking. And at the very, very end of the list here, we have the Scout Speeder. So this one, I took a lot of inspiration from this design I found on the internet, and I'll link it in the description as well, because I do want to credit the original designer for making probably the best looking Scout Speeder bike mock. So I took many elements from there, but I modified it slightly, including one of my the first things I thought of was using this skiing pole piece at the bottom right there as the blaster. So right in the middle there, you can see the white ski pole there. And everything else is just angled to allow the Scout Trooper to have a place for him to sit without compromising the shape of the speeder, and that's the rear of it. So I'm really happy with this one. Actually, I just completed this one very recently because I was still looking for the right parts to use, but I'm glad with how this turned out. So with that said, that's all of the speeder bikes. Now let's take a look at the figures. Starting off with the main character, the Mandalorian. Pretty generic. You know how this figure goes. But I wanted to show you the bike without him inside and how it looks with that seat there, that kind of like leather padding and Grogu stuck there. So moving on, let's try to do this in order if I can remember. So this is what this bike looks like without anyone. Very, very basic. But I wanted to show you guys this character, which is sort of like a hunter, sniper, I don't know. But very basic as well, not a lot of detail on the outfit, more about the weapon and that cool visor from the ice exploration old Lego theme. I'm actually not sure which year that came out, but that thing is old. And moving on, we have this one, and this is what this speeder looks like without anyone in it. Again, just the 4 studs, lever, and control, but this custom figure was made with Nadar Veb's body, and I cut it up into 2 extra holes underneath the arms so I could give him more arms. And he's more like a brute force mercenary, so you can see he's not as decked out as the other guys. He's more like, you know, just his muscle, or like 4 times the muscle, twice the muscle. And then small pistol, uses the Ultron piece for the neck there. Next up we have this one. Okay, this one was this one was the last one I reviewed, but this one is a very simple seat, totally flat. And if we see here, I'm using the Inquisitor's helmet, and this is the rifle that was attached to his speeder bike. So using that as his weapon, and he's got a blaster at the back just for close quarters attacks. Then the next one is the cool samurai looking one. This one's actually really interesting, the way it's constructed. So it's steady at the base, and then it's got like these 2 hinged areas, and this is the control area. So where is the dude, you may ask? Well, he's right here, and he's got like the shoulder cannon, kind of like Mayfeld from Mandalorian, and the chrome blaster. What does he look like underneath the helmet? Who knows? It could be Jar Jar Binks. Next, we have this bad boy over here, and the 2 drivers. One of them is the Twi'lek with the crossbow. Now this crossbow is very simple. You can make your own, and it looks like Chewie's crossbow, but brick built. So I'm using Cad Bane's body and Ula's headpiece from Jabba's palace. Yeah, so let me just put her over there. And the other dude is this guy. Very odd looking guy, because he's wearing sort of like a rangefinder scope with a sniper that already has a scope, so I'm not sure why he's doing that, but his blaster is really long. It's from the Monster Hunter era. He's got the Indiana Jones satchel, so I think they go as a nice pair because they look the most kind of like rugged and exactly like the type of people you'd see piloting this like made up kit bashed speeder bike. And finally, nobody cares about the Scout Trooper. So guys, thank you for watching my video on all the custom speeders that I've made. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, leave a thumbs up if you like. Don't leave a thumbs down if you don't like, just get out of here. And I'm so excited to show you guys what's coming next because I have a huge video. Don't forget to subscribe to see that one. All right, cheerio.